Doing good.
Today, we are here with two up and coming gurus in their own right, Sire, the producer, and Master Johnson, which is owner of Boss Tripp Productions,
Mm-hmm.
also manager for Boss Tripp for Trey.
Yes.
How are you all today?
Doing great.
Great.
Fantastic. We wanted to get the two of you together to discuss both your careers and collaborations, what you see is going on up and coming. So please introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about you. Sire?
I am Sire. I'm a 17-year-old producer, and I go by a Cleveland originated sound, and I try to make it as authentic as possible. So me and Boss Tripp for Trey's manager coming together is really authentic, coming from his artist being in Texas and I'm being from Cleveland. So it brings a real sound to everything happening.
Okay, and Master, tell us how you, tell us a little bit about you.
Well,
How'd you get started?
how I got started in this music, or how I just got started altogether.
Tell us the history of Bossed Up.
Okay, Bossed Up. So, Bossed Up is me and my brother's clothing brand. That's what you see. This logo right here is his bag. That's what you see on my chain right here. This is the Bossed Up logo. You feel me? And it is we got started around 2014, and my brother, he actually started the brand in Texas, and then as I was going to college and up here in Cleveland, he called me up. He said, bro, I know you just graduated, come help me out right here and show me the ropes, because I know you already got your degree. I'm like, cool. So we had the brand going on, and I went ahead and helped them out, because that's what family do. Family, we stick together. And then but a few years later, he said, you know what, bro, I'm finna go ahead and get my rapping thing on. So that's how Boss Tripp for Trey got on right there. That's my artist right there, my brother, and that's us right there together right here. And that's how me and Sire went ahead and got everything together, because I know Sire from a long while,
So
and
let's get into that. Sire, how did you meet Master?
Well, me and Master actually go a long way back, like before even I was in like diapers, and really it came from just being around each other and being really like brothers at the beginning. It wasn't even ever music, it was just like a real relationship. But we came back and brought like the connection back.
So you want to add to
yeah.
the beginning part of this?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I knew I knew his dad, and his dad would always bring him around and everything. And I knew Sire before he was Sire and everything. So I would always hang out with him and everything, try to show him that it's a better way to be in the streets. Try to show him what you call it, give him a better, like not I say a father figure, but someone to look up to as he growing up. So when I started with the music and started to dabble with different artists here in the city of Cleveland, and then before I was messing with my brother and just going to little networking parties and events and everything, and then me and my brother started working. We was working with different producers in Texas, and they wasn't really giving us the right beats and stuff like that. So I'm like, let me call.
Well, stop right there.
Go ahead.
Because you're ahead.
Oh, okay.
You're
I'm
ahead
sorry.
of my question.
All right.
We're going to get there. Because obviously there was a disconnect from your childhoods.
Yes.
And
So
now how did you all get reconnected?
we got reconnected when I gave him a call. Well, I met his mother at a party at a club, and I didn't know his mother was his mother. I saw the promoter, and the promoter said, "I'm gonna introduce you to this woman," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And as I'm talking to the lady, I tell her about this guy who used to, speak to my mom and everything. And then I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, we get the conversation going. And then, oh, that's your son? I'm like, oh, I know him. I've been knew him. And then it was just, the conversation just went back to connect. And then me and him just get to talking. And then, hey, that's how everything just came together.
So the reconnection was real.
Yeah, it was real. It was real, authentic,
Yeah.
and it was just
Through
full
his
love.
mother, even.
Through his mother, yeah, it was just all love.
So you all met through his dad, but then reconnected through his mom.
Yes.
That's really cool. So what are you all working on currently?
As of right now, we have this drop with Derez Deshawn, his artist, Boss Tripp for a Trey, and Derez Deshawn is dropping October 1st. And we are working on many other things too. Like currently, that's one of the bigger things we have going on. And all of the work, and as of right now, for me, I'm working on a compilation album and a producer album with beats and artists from Cleveland and many other artists like from New York, and you can name it. I actually have my dog Mondo. Me and him been going crazy in Cleveland recently. We just been dropping. We got this drop with Lil Cray that came out about in February 2020, 2021, 2020. That's been going up, and we got many more coming.
And how about you? What are you working on as a project together and individually with your artists?
Okay. Well, together we are working on dropping some songs with, like he just said, this week. Well, on October 1st, with Derez Deshawn. The song is called "Ghetto Struggle." Pre-sales go on this Friday, October 10th. No, I'm sorry, September 10th. For that song right there on Apple Store, and we're shooting a video this Friday, as well as we are working on a song with T-Rail, who just recently got signed with Empire. That song should be released sometime next year, 2021. And as well as we're working with several artists here in Cleveland that we did some features with. I was make a name of Britt Bands. It's a nice artist, female. And we may work with Doughboy in the future. We're just waiting to hear back from his clientele. Now, other features that we have and other artists that we're working with, a few Texas artists. One of them is named Henny No Chaser. Another artist's name is don't know them off the back, but it's a group of artists that then sent us their songs and want us to put some features on them and just sent us their songs. So that's that on those artists right there.
So they're like in the same little unit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ASAPs or this group you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's awesome. So, what challenges have you faced, Sire, being a young producer in the market and being seen or recognized as your projects or music being taken seriously and people buying it? What
Yeah.
challenges are you facing?
Well, since I'm young, it comes with many more challenges than it is being as of age to be going out and doing many other things. But as of being noticed as an industry, I still get a notice, but I'm unable to be solidified until I'm of age or at least a little older, because for you to be able to get signed or anything like that, you want to have to be of age, or there's policies around that that don't really like look forward to helping the producer that is signed. So really, it's just like the challenges is just getting the music out there and letting people know that I'm really like serious about it, because people of my age, like, they don't really take it serious, and I really put everything into my music. So yeah.
And how about you? What challenges are you facing as a company owner as well as managing someone?
I would say the biggest challenge is making sure that the brand that I represent, both brands, doesn't get tarnished by anything as far as the artists, like the stuff that you see in media. Like it happens to a lot of artists. Um, Go ahead, get your phone. Um, Want me to restate the question? Okay,
Yeah, do that again.
all right. But
What challenges have you faced?
is challenges. The main challenge that I've been facing is making sure that the brand doesn't get tarnished by anything in the media or local media with the brand or with the artists. As far as like how these celebrities go through it with scenario with the baby, Boosie. We see it on social media how anything can just go out there, and I stress that a lot with my artists. Like anything you do, everyone is watching. If you don't think they're watching, everyone is always watching. So make sure you represent yourself as if you say it. Everything you do, make sure you represent it to the T. What you put in your lyrics is gonna come back. So just make sure it is what it is. And then the other thing is being acknowledged. Make sure my artist is acknowledged as an artist, not just his other business, because he also is a barber as well. He's a barber by trade, and he's a rapper. So make sure people distinguish both of them and both of them separately. So we make sure we just get taken serious when we're speaking to these producers, when we're speaking to these show promoters and everything of that nature, and then these other managers. So we just want to be taken serious, and we're noticing that we're being taken serious now.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then my next question really would go to both of you, but definitely Sire. Who are your mentors, or who do you look up to as you're coming and growing and becoming who you are?
Well, as of right now, I look to myself for most of my inspiration and a lot of my motivation, because I'm really like introverted and I don't really look outside of myself for too much. So, but as a figure in the industry, I have to say somebody like Metro Boomin is definitely an inspiration. It definitely really just shows me like the pinnacle of being like a producer and like where I can be if I go hard enough.
And that's awesome. And then how about you? Who's helping you to see through the music industry, or to understand what your exact role is as a manager, owner of a production company, or
Okay.
in the music business?
Um, it would have to be two people, and one would be um, what's the man? Damon John, uh, because the way he really choreographed FUBU, and then went on to be one of the sharks on Shark Tank, and then the way he just really inspires people who has a brand, even if we see him on this TV show and we look at their brand, it's just nothing, just presenting it, and they're pitching it, but he can see something in that brand and just take it to a whole nother level and give them so much inspiration. That's how I just speak to my artists, and I let them know, like, no matter what you'll give me this music and I'm listening to it, even if you don't hear nothing in it, I can hear something that can just be tweaked, just can do better into it. And then it would be what's the man name? Gucci Mane. I say that because he did a whole 360. I was listening to Gucci Mane for a long time. Like, even when he was just Gucci Mane was just him, Slim Duncan, Waka Flocka, and then before he was just with all of them right there. And then he's putting artists on. It was just, I mean, like, it was all the artists that he had on in between his whole little mixtapes and stuff are now having other artists up under them or sign up under him. Future, Young Thug, freaking Waka had his own little team of folks. And even though they all in Atlanta, and Atlanta is easy for people just to network and everything like that. But he built an empire, and then his empire built an empire, and then that empire built an empire. So it's just so easy for people to look over not networking with somebody because they feel like, okay, that person gonna just cut me dry, so I ain't gonna work with them. They gonna just do this to me, and I'm not gonna work with them. Yeah, that did happen to them in times and certain things, but people still hold that recognition like, well, we ain't hear about you until you was working with him right here. We ain't hear about you until you was working with this person. All them mixtapes is just endless. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool.
No, you were done. All right. And then finally, just to bring this in as a whole, give us a little bit more information about the products that are being released, what's coming up, what do we have to look forward to, and do you have some other individual projects that you're working with outside of Masta?
Yeah, as of right now, I'm working on this project that's to be released in February of 2022, called Aura, and it's gonna bring in like a whole different sound to just music in general. It's gonna be released under me as Sire, and I say look forward to that. I am definitely working on something with my dog Mondo. We got big placements coming. Definitely more coming as of just me releasing content, videos, just I'm gonna be all over the place as of content wise. So yeah.
Okay.
And then my question for you would be, you're already doing what you're doing with your artists, and you have collaborations that you guys have done with Fortray. What is your marketing or distribution plan for everything? How do you anticipate to make sure that it's getting flooded, if you will,
Okay.
into the music system?
Okay, so we always prepare like a marketing rollout for every type of release and everything. Well, we just got it more concise now and got a strict plan for everything. Right now we finna we already have our service pack together for our previous release, our next release for the Ghetto Struggle track. Our next plan that we have right now is to get this track serviced to all the blogs. We are getting them ready to get verified for all the social media platforms, and then preparing them for some interviews, and then next year, getting ready for a tour across Texas, Miami, California, Atlanta, and then try to get them up this way. If we can't get them up this way, um, just can't, but we're gonna give them some interviews up this way via Zoom, and we're gonna push heavily for Zoom and then radio play for the upcoming songs and upcoming tracks that we have coming up next year.
Okay. Well, it was great to have the both of you here. The last thing I would leave you all with is it who you know or is it the project? What would you say, Master?
I would say it's both, because you can have a really great project and they get overlooked and shadowed. Because we just saw just now, we had Kendrick that just dropped, Nas, J. Cole. I'm sorry, not that one Kendrick. It was J. Cole, Nas, um, uh, Drake, and Kanye. They just all just dropped some fire albums within the past month and a half. Well, 2 or 3 months and a half ago. And people really was just focusing and just anticipating the Drake and Kanye thing. But I'm sure a whole bunch of other artists who were just like unsigned and just really had more hot tracks in me, or more hot albums that dropped in between that time frame. And if they knew the right people, they would have been highlighted as well, along with all these artists that we know.
Okay. Well, from a producer standpoint, how do you want to answer that?
Honestly, producers, we have to move differently than artists and anybody else in the industry. So it's really it's no real difference. Like, can you ask me a question again?
Yes. I want to know, do you feel as if it's important for your project to be great, or if you need to know someone?
Yeah, okay. So for producers, it's really both, because you could create however much you want to, but if the connections aren't there, you're pretty much gonna be in one place because the music isn't going anywhere. And if it's just sitting on a laptop, it's not really doing anything. So you kind of got to get the music out there regardless. And like, it's really who you know and what you create.
In the drive.
Well, I wish you both much success. I look forward to the projects that are coming individually and as a collective. And I will come back and ask those questions that are up and coming as you all are growing. Sire and Master Johnson, owner of Masta